what were important elements for picking certain soundtracks?
Well, I started with a playlist of over 100 songs and excerpts from soundtracks, and it was really quite difficult to narrow them down to the 11 that we've got on the album. And in the end, I listened. I went partly by the ones that I listened to most. So I looked at my playlist in iTunes and had a look at which ones I was playing most. Then we consulted with the labels and seen which ones they liked the most and if they had any other suggestions. And we had some interesting suggestions come from that, including Forbidden Colours, which is a very interesting song. It was one that initially, when I listened to the David Sylvian original, I thought, I'm not sure this is going to work. It's very dark, and I'm not even sure what the song means. And I'm still not sure what the song means, because it's a very complex song, both in music and also in lyric. It's a very complex song. But it's a song that's now one of my favourites, even though initially I had great misgivings about it. When I started recording it, I had a really good gut feeling about it. It just felt right. I just turned around to Simon Franklin and said, you know, this is going to work. I had my doubts, but this is going to work. And it's a song that you discover more every time you listen to it, but you still don't fully understand it. But that's a good thing about that particular song.
What kind of things do you discover then in a song after a couple of times?
Well, you hear more things going on. There's a lot of things going on with Forbidden Colours, and initially you hear it and you think, that's interesting. And you wonder whether you love it or not. And the more you listen to it, the more you find, and the more you like it, then you end up loving it. And it's difficult to put a finger exactly what it is about the track, but there's always something going on in the background. Which made it quite a challenge musically to record. Because finding your cues is actually quite difficult, because there's no musical cues. You have to just know when you're coming in. So, and I as a singer, I don't count. I find that if you're counting in your head, then it shows in your singing. And also when, if you're performing on stage, if you're counting, it shows on your face, and then you lose all the emotion, because then it's like painting by numbers. There's no genuine feeling then. So I end up having to sing it quite often until I feel where I'm coming in.
In what way do you put emotion into those songs?
Most of it is just what feels natural. Part of it is knowing the sense, trying to find the sense of the song and where the composers put the emotional emphasis. In a song like Parla più piano, it's quite easy to decide where the emotion is, because it's all there in the music. Nina Rota's kind of done it for you, and the only thing with Parla più piano, you've got to make sure that it's not too over the top, because then it becomes over dramatic, and it's a fine line. But it's a great song, and it starts really quietly, it builds, and then you get a really good climax at the end. But you have to be careful not to overplay it, because otherwise it just becomes too sentimental, and then it loses its real meaning.
Is it important to know exactly where a piece is about to sing it?
I think it's difficult to really put the piece across if you don't understand what the song is about, because that's essential to songs. That's particularly essential.
What's the most touching song that you've ever sung?
That's a difficult one, because I've sung many moving songs, like of course Nessun Dorma. Also one that I haven't recorded yet from the opera Werther, Pourquoi me verrière. Parla più piano is wonderfully moving, and Wonderful World is a very inspirational song, but it's inspirational in the everyday things. It's not talking about flying to the moon, it's talking about everyday things we see go past us every day, children crying, and them learning as they go through life, and people we meet day in, day out, and finding things about people that we didn't know, and that's the suggestion in the song. It's a very inspirational song, but in a very down-to-earth way. And I think that's the most important kind of inspiration, because it's what we do every day that counts. And so that song is a particularly inspirational one.
Do you take it also into your personal life as well, that inspiration?
I do my best.
Yeah. As a singer, do you still have the feeling that you're improving or that you're learning new things?
Well, I'd hate to get to the point where I was no longer improving. I constantly work on things, and I'm a very harsh critic of myself. And I think that I've come quite a long way in the last 3 years. I've still got a long way to go. But I'm very happy with this album. I'm very happy with my singing on it, and I'm very happy with the production on it. And I'm really enjoying singing the songs from it, because it's, you know, they're great songs from great movies that have great feeling in them. And I'm very happy with how I'm progressing. I've still got a lot of work to do, and I'll continue to work on it.